to my living room. Hello there.
Thanks, Claire.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
It's absolutely no problem at all. What do you guys think? Excited? Yes. Gosh, I'm excited to chat to you both.
So many phones pointed at me right now. I don't know how to take this in.
Shall we get it all over with now? Do you guys just take a picture now? We'll do all the like.
Yeah.
Right, you ready? Let's go this side. Right, this side. You ready? Best pose. There you go. Go for it. Shall we do a middle?
There we go.
Middle? Let's do the middle. Get out your way. Okay, we've got the middle. Here we go. Yes.
Little drummer boy. Over here?
Should we do, because I feel like you guys...
Nah, fuck them.
I'm sorry if there are any children. He's going to be inappropriate.
No!
Get over here.
I hate them.
They will get over here.
Come on, you guys, I'll get out your way.
9 years of that, you guys.
Excellent, love it. There you go.
We're off to a solid start.
Right, now, put your phones away. We're all good. We're ready to do it. All right, let's get straight into it. There will be time for some fan questions at the end, you guys. I will point to the mics when the time is right. First of all, you know, being in San Francisco doing this convention and conventions together occasionally, how does that feel as opposed to, you know, coming back together after working with one another so long? Does it feel like a school reunion, that kind of vibe?
He's going to say something shitty. No, I love Rainn. I love him. And I love, you know, my favorite thing is when he texts me out of the blue and he'll say something like, "Hey, idiot, I love you."
Yeah. No, we keep in touch and see each other occasionally, but it's just always a treat to see the Office cast, and that sounds like a cliche, but it really is. And some of these conventions is when I get to like hang out with Oscar or Brian, because even though we're in the LA area, we hardly kind of see each other hang out occasionally, you know, at lunch or something like that. So it's a real treat.
Yeah, always. I mean, I was talking to BJ Novak and he was like, how I feel about it is Office family forever. And that's how I feel.
I was watching an episode of your podcast, Rainn. You were talking to Ed Helms. And I love the part of the conversation where you were talking about where you were at that time in your lives in terms of your careers. Everyone was pushing on and trying to get movies, and everyone was really fired up. Did you feel like that at that time? And do you wish that maybe you'd paused and taken stock? Where were you both mindset-wise at the height of The Office?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've shared with a number of Office members. Ed Helms was one I spoke to about this, and BJ Novak I spoke to about it, that one of our regrets is that we didn't enjoy it more. And don't get me wrong, we enjoyed it a ton. And I've talked about this before, and I've had headlines that have said like, Rainn Wilson miserable on the set of The Office. It's like, no, I wasn't miserable on the set of The Office, but we did spend so much, you work so hard as an actor and you're broke forever and you're getting little roles, and then all of a sudden, like when your break hits, you want to make the most of it. So, you know, all of a sudden I had opportunities to, you know, star in movies and develop other TV shows and get production deals and do commercial campaigns, and sometimes you could be so focused on these other aspects of career that like the greatest job that you'll ever have is in your lap, and you kind of neglect just really savoring how special and rich that experience is. And I think maybe this is something that we can all experience. You know, sometimes it's high school is your best time of your life. Sometimes it's college. Sometimes it's a work experience or a vacation, but you're thinking about what's the next thing. So it's kind of a trap of how happiness works.
Angela, were you in that mindset? And also, do you feel that's just a human thing, or do you think it's the creative industry we work in that makes you go, what's the next thing? What What's the next?
I think it's a human thing. I think sometimes it's hard to just sit in gratitude in the moment that you're in. And I think as you get older, you get better at that. For me, especially, I felt that true. Like the older I am, I appreciate the smaller things now. And even just, if I could, you know what I would love? I would love nothing more than to go back and sit in the conference room and do a conference room scene. And we used to be in that scene, like we'd be in a conference room sometimes all day for 5 days. You get loopy. But I was like, how fun would it be to sit back in that conference room?
That's a lot of big personalities in a very small space.
Very small space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for me, at the height of The Office, I became a mom. You know, I was pregnant season 4. If you watch the dinner party episode, yeah, the reason Andy has a giant bouquet when we walk in the condo was to hide my belly. Like they had to find a joke to hide my belly. So.
And you were fictionally pregnant in season 8?
Yeah, so it was, we had this joke of like, who's real pregnant? Because I was real pregnant and Jenna as Pam was fake pregnant, and then Jenna was real pregnant and I was fake pregnant as Angela. So one day our script supervisor, Veda, said, wait, who's really pregnant? But yeah, I became a mom and that sort of shifted my whole life perspective. And I wasn't a hamster on a wheel in that way of like chasing that job. I just wanted just to be with her every second I could. So she would come to set a lot, as Rainn knows. And she grew up with like Creed Bratton walking by her going, "Bagak!" And I'm like, she's gonna be fine.
How old is your little one now?
17.
Oh!
I know, yeah.
My son was born in season 1, the Hot Girl episode with Amy Adams. And he's 21 now.
Oh my goodness. Do they have any plans to, or are they in the industry at all at the moment? Have you ever encouraged them?
My kid does music, but he's not interested in acting. In fact, I just begged him to take an acting class at college, just to see if he would take to it, because he's a natural kind of, and he's like, Dad, I hate this. This is stupid. He wants nothing to do with it.
My daughter's in high school and she just auditioned for the high school musical, and she got the role of the eaglet in the Alice in Wonderland. So I'm gonna go watch her be a little eagle.
I love that. You mentioned big personalities in a room. There was a lot of them. And I always think about when I'm working with folks, whether it's on a stage here, stand-up, or whatever it may be, I learn so much from people that I work with. What did you learn from each other and people on the set that you took away with you as creatives? Did you learn from one another?
Well, I will say 100% that one of the single greatest comedy acting lesson I experienced, or that any of us experienced, was just being in a room with Steve Carell. And because he's just the sweetest, kindest, kind of most normal guy you'd ever want to meet, and he has this mad genius comedic ability. And one of the things that I really learned from Steve, because of his improv background, is like, it was literally impossible to ever throw him off. There's nothing you could ever do in a scene, in any given situation, that he wouldn't completely 100% respond as Michael Scott, perfectly in the moment. So, and I would try sometimes, I would just...
A lot of times.
Just all of a sudden take my shirt off, or say something totally nonsensical, and he'd just be like, Dwight, what are you doing? Put your shirt on. And you know, no one wants to talk to you about llamas right now. Will you shut up? We gotta focus on this. And it was a great comedy lesson.
What about you, Angela? Did you learn from the folks on set?
Well, I mean, just to echo what Rainn said, Steve Carell's like a master class in acting, not just comedy, but just in the heartfelt moments. Like, he would make you tear up and make you laugh. And pretty early on, I learned I couldn't make eye contact with him because he would just like come for my soul. So I couldn't, I would just laugh, and then I didn't want to be that person, so I would look at his neck. So I spent 9 years looking at his neck. Is that weird?
It's a nice neck.
It's a nice neck. But yeah, I felt like I learned something all the time. One of the things I learned from...
I would look at his penis.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! I was gonna say a compliment to you. One of the things I learned from Rainn was just to really trust my instincts in knowing who my character was. And I don't even know if you remember this. We were doing a scene one time early on, and I kind of had this instinct that Angela would just walk away from you, and it wasn't scripted. And we got to the end of the scene, we got it as scripted, and then one time I walked away, and I said to you, oh, is that okay that I walked away? And I don't know if you remember this, but you were like, do you think Angela would have walked away from Dwight at that moment? I'm like, yeah. And then you were like, trust your instinct. You don't even remember this, but I think about it. I thought about it for a long time. Anyway.
Nice.
I'm so tempted to ask Rainn, what did you learn from Steve Carell's crotch? But I'm not going to ask that.
I think you just did, and I think we need the answer.
So Rainn, what did
That's
you
what
learn?
she said.
Thank you.
That's what she said.
I did that. I really did. You were mentioning about making that character choice. I find that interesting about leaning in and going with instinct as a creative person. Was that something that always came natural to you guys as actors, or something that is learned over time, do you think, with confidence? Because it's something that can be difficult for a lot of creative people to lean in and make choices.
Well, I thought for The Office, and Rainn, you can share your thing, but our writers were so phenomenal that I felt like they built this world and built these characters, and as I got to know the world and their writing, I was so confident at who Angela was and how she would react in any moment. I felt like I really knew Angela Martin, and I think we owed that to the phenomenal writing.
Yeah, I think a couple of things. One is, a lot of times when you do television and they want you to improvise, it's because the writing sucks. And they're like, we want you to make it better and funnier and stuff like that. And we've certainly been involved in situations like that. So that was not the case here. Great writing, and if you improvise and they keep it, that's icing on the cake, you know, even better. But the other thing is too, is that the writers would also write for our voices. So they would get to know us in a way, and they would write lines that just, they would feel like something I would just improvise or make up on the spot. So it was this great synergy between the writers, and some of them really had, like Paul Lieberstein, who played Toby, and Mindy Kaling, like really knew how to write for Dwight, and they just could completely write in Dwight's voice. And they were always tasked with like, oh, Dwight has to say something absurd here, and they would either give it to Paul or Mindy.
I like that. What a skill. What, such great writing. Okay, now before we get to the fan questions, just one last question. Where are you guys at now as actors going forward, and how you look into the future? You've got podcasts, there's all sorts of things that you're involved in.
Are you in a you have a podcast?
Yes.
Oh, me?
Yes.
I sure do.
What is that podcast, Angela? Please tell us what it is.
You guys, you know Jenna and I do a rewatch podcast called Office Ladies, where we watch, thank you, every episode of The Office. We give you all the behind-the-scenes scoop. Rainn has graciously been on the show many times. He's got a fantastic podcast called Soul Boom. Yeah, it is.
That is a much smaller audience base with this demographic.
And you have a podcast.
I do, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's called Hot Pod Time Machine. So I've got a podcast.
On a time machine with Claire.
Thank you. So yeah, like, where are you? What's next for you guys then? What turns you on now creatively? Where are you going next?
Well, I just had a movie come out called Code 3 that you can, 3 people, thank you. Code 3 people have seen that film. And you can buy it on video on demand on Amazon or Apple. I think it's coming to streaming soon, next couple months. And I'm very proud of that one. And there's another movie I did actually with Amy Adams last summer called By the Sea. I don't know what's happened to it. Maybe it's not very good. I haven't heard anything about it. But, you know, I feel like I'm in this incredible position where I get to write books. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 books now. And Angela just wrote a cookbook with her husband as well. Check that out. It's called You Can Cook This.
You You can make this. So
You can cook this.
You can make this.
And it's a delightful, I've done every recipe in the book. But I get to write books and do podcasts and do speaking gigs and like, I have this whole other career, and then I also get to do acting. So, you know, just trying to generate some projects and turn down a lot of like really shitty projects, and I get to be a little more picky and choosy, so it's great. It works out great.
And you get to sit here in front of all these lovely folks.
I know, I get to do these fan conventions with the best fans in the world.
Okay, right. We've got a mic right here. And one, wow, you're fast. Martin,
Get to the mics. Okay, but the our favorite episodes are the injury and the dinner party. My favorite prank is when Jim put my desk in the office. Who is the prankster on the set? No one really, but John Krasinski did great impressions, and Creed was weird and had halitosis. What are other common questions you're asked?
I'm gonna let them ask.
I'm cutting them off at the pass.
No!
I love the FAQ section of the
Yeah,
panel.
FAQ, yeah.
It's so efficient, I love it. We're gonna go here since you got up really fast. What's your name?
My name's Andrew. I watched the show and Office Ladies with my mom.
Woo!
Yes, Office Ladies, great show. So I was wondering if Angela's still in touch with Kevin and Oscar, and if she'll show up again in the paper.
Oh my goodness. Well, I did tell Greg, I was like, Greg, if you need Angela Martin to come, you know, if Oscar's having an accounting problem and Angela Martin needs to come, Angela Martin Shroops needs to come and help Oscar, I'd be more than happy to. But Oscar and Brian and I have a tradition where we do an accountant's dinner. Yes, and we don't live in the same cities, but we try to get together and we do a surf and turf, and someone always has to pick the surf and turf. And Oscar never fails. He gets the surf tower. Have you seen one of those? They
Yeah,
walk
the
over-
seafood tower,
the
yeah.
seafood tower. It's enormous and really obnoxious, and he gets it every time. So yes.
Okay, so we'll get another chance. Save Bandit!
Woohoo!
Thanks, Mike.
I only weigh 85 pounds.
Thanks, mate. Hello, friend. What's your name and question?
Hi, my name is Dwight. Quick question, everybody. Quick question. Like, what's your favorite part of the whole experience? Just being in the office. What experience, just when you think about it, just makes you smile? If you're having a bad day, you're like, I did the office. It's a pretty cool day.
I liked watching YouTube videos at Oscar's computer monitor on breaks.
Yeah, Oscar's computer was the only one that had sound. None of the other computers had sound. So we would gather around his computer and watch whatever videos. He loved like a lot of like martial arts videos.
There was a one about the wildebeests that rescue
Oh,
the baby
yes.
calf from the lions
Oh, that was
in
like
the Kruger Park.
such drama. We watched that. And then I loved that it came back in the show that we all gather around Oscar's desk to watch the documentary be unveiled. So that was the writers knowing that's where we always hung out anyway.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Hello there, my dear. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Evan. Oh, I just kissed the mic. You know, everyone has their comedy growing up. I, try to get my wife on The Office. She's a big Friends person. I wanted to ask you guys, what was I told her you could be both. What was your favorite comedy growing up when you were younger? Did you get that one before?
Yeah, I saw Christopher Lloyd was here, and I love Taxi. Was one of my very favorite shows, late 70s, early 80s. And it was such a beautiful mix of like character. It almost wasn't a it was almost a dramedy, and just an amazing assortment of amazing characters. So, but a bunch of great classic ones from the 70s I grew up watching. Always loved sitcoms.
I didn't grow up in the U.S. I grew up overseas, and so one of the comedies that I was first introduced to that I loved was Faulty Towers. Yeah, so loved that show so much. But I loved, when I came stateside, I sort of rediscovered American television, and I loved Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thanks, you guys. We need laughs more than ever, so we appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You grew up in Indonesia, is that correct?
Yeah, in Jakarta.
I love the conversation you both had, and then Rainn was like, okay, speak Indonesian. So
yeah.
you were like, okay, let's go.
Apa kabar? Kabar baik, terima kasih. Anyone? Nope.
Not a single Indonesian here.
Anyone?
Pathetic.
I just said hi, how are you?
Oklahoma City Comic-Con had 14 Indonesians.
Nice to meet you guys. Hello, my friend. What's your name?
Michael. Yeah, my name is actually Michael. Angela, I just wanted to say thank you and Jennifer for picking up How We Made Your Mother. It was so cool to see kind of the synergy crossover there. My question for both of you is, The Office, we follow all of these, kind of love stories between all these different couples. Jim Pam, Michael Holly, Michael Jan, Michael, the real estate lady.
Carol.
Kelly and Ryan. What do you guys feel like set Angela and Dwight kind of apart from the rest of what do you think was kind of the special sauce?
You mean the greatest romance in the history of television? Angela?
You mean the best wedding proposal ever?
Yes.
I don't, my grandmother used to say every pot has its lid. And,
Oh.
and I think Dwight and Angela, I don't know, I think for Angela, she always loved him. And that's how I played all of my scenes, no matter what other romance my character might have been in, that her true love was always Dwight. And I think they were not, people write about Jim and Pam, and a lot of times the first quote is like, "Ah," and for Angela and Dwight, it's "ew." Like the critic said that about Dwight and Angela, "ew," like from Entertainment Weekly.
Fuck them.
And so I like that there are these two sort of odd folks that love each other's quirks and also hate each other's quirks.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, my love. What's your name? Abria. Okay, right into the mic. Sorry, you can move.
Abria.
Okay, go for it.
So I just wanted to know, what do you think Dwight and Angela are doing now? Do you think they'd have more kids or more cats for that matter?
We probably have like 12 kids and 47 cats.
I think they have a full softball team of children. And there was this great scene in the finale that didn't make it in, where Angela asks everyone to bring a cat as a gift, and there's a basket of cats, and people are putting them in. There's some deleted scenes where Kevin puts a cat in, and then when they get married, there were supposed to be doves released, but the cats eat all the doves, and it's just carnage, and they couldn't figure out a way to make that happen. So yes, lots of cats.
That's great.
Thank you so much. Over here, my friend. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Ari, and I grew up watching your show since I was like 7 or 8 years old. To be honest, most of the jokes kind of flew over my head, but I would say them at school and I get in trouble, and I didn't know why. So I would watch with my dad and Tita, and later on growing up, after doing some research, I found out that Rainn, or you would eat the food on set. Like most actors would usually spit it out. What was one of your favorite food items that you eaten while on set?
Well, it's funny, it drives me crazy. I just saw the movie Begonia. I have a mixed review on that one with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Great acting. But they have a dinner scene and they have like a few nibbles of the noodles and they weren't eating the meatballs on the spaghetti. It drives me crazy.
Nothing pisses him off more.
Like, eat the food, you fucking idiots. And actors don't do it because they don't want to do multiple takes from different angles and have to eat the food over and over again. But too bad. Suck it up. That's what she said. You have to So I always, as an actor, I always feel like it's my obligation to truly devour the food that's in front of me.
That's amazing.
Just watch the Dwight Jan scene where he's eating all the
Yeah,
pancakes.
it's the extra syrup as he's talking to Jan, and he does like 7 or 8 passes of the syrup, and then eats the eggs and the pancakes. And I never treat myself to this syrup, so I enjoyed it. I got to have it, spend a day eating 3 pounds of syrup-drenched pancakes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, friend. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Charlotte, and I've got a wee bit of a non sequitur for Mr. Wilson here. I was actually introduced to you as one Harcourt Fenton Mudd, and my question is, well, first off, in the original series, he's kind of silly, dilly-dally. You made him dangerous, and so my question is, what was your familiarity with either the role or Star Trek? Were you a fan? And how did you make him your own? Because it was brilliant.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what an honor it was to be part of the Star Trek universe and Star Trek Discovery and do play Harry Mudd. And we talked a lot about the tone because Roger Carmel played him pretty comedically in the original series. But the world of Discovery was so dark and dangerous, and the stakes were so high. We knew we needed to give him a dash of his, kind of pirate self, but at the same time, he had to have real teeth in order to fit into the universe. So there's one of my favorite quotes is by Sir Laurence Olivier. He was a famous actor from the England.
This is one of Rainn's favorite bits. This is fancy actor
in the
bits.
60s and 70s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll show you. He did his production of Hamlet is considered one of the great Shakespeare adaptations of all time. But he said, style is knowing what world you're in. So, actors learning what style the world is in, is really important. And sometimes there were actors on The Office that just didn't know the world they were in. They were too broad or they were too dark and serious. They couldn't match and sometimes we had to fire some actors that just didn't match the style of the show. So it's really important to kind of know what style you're in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This will be the last question, I'm afraid. So everyone else, so don't look at me in the eyes. I'm so sorry. Thank you for waiting, but I'm so sorry, my dear. Last but not least, what is your name, my friend?
I'm Addison. This is a lot of pressure to have a good last question.
You're good,
Happy
you're good.
Thanksgiving to you both, all of you. I just wanted to see if there was a quote to this day, it doesn't have to be yours, anybody's quote that gets stuck in your head that you find, maybe you wake up in the morning and it goes through your head or something that, just a quote.
A quote from The Office?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You take that one.
I mean, there's a lot that I think about, like, in the course of just, like, being out and about. Like, if I see bacon, I think of Michael Scott. I mean, I don't know how you can't. Like, I like fresh bacon, so sue me. Like, that whole thing. I can't look at a griddle the same way. But yeah, I think things just pop up all the time. And I get a lot. People will say to me, like, just in the airport, like, I had a lady say to me, Phyllis, these are forks. I mean, I love it though. Every single time, to me, it's just like an abundance of riches. Like, I love that I got to be a part of that. It was weird though, when I was at a U2 concert and some guys yelled at me, Angela, we take the Da Vinci Code because we burn the Da Vinci Code. And I was like, oh right, I said that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Perfect response. Yeah.
Thank
that's
you
great.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for the fantastic performance. It's an absolute pleasure to have sat with you both. I've met Rainn before, and thank you for doing my podcast as well. And Angela, it was wonderful to hear your stories from the office or from the set. And you're here all weekend as well. If people didn't get a chance to ask you a question, they can come to your table, right? And
Yeah, we'll be here. We're here today.
Just today?
Tonight, yeah.
But
Yeah,
We'll be-
come
I'll
by
be
our
here,
tables
yeah.
and say hi, and your cookbook is available
Yes, my
at the
cookbook
table.
is available at the table. You can make
You
this.
could cook this.
You can make this.
Guys, it's
Thank you
Rainn
guys
and
for great.
Angela.